I wanted to go over how the teams in this class are going to work. So let's talk a little bit about teams in business, working in a team, some of the projects you'll see, and your team contract, which is your first project. So teams in business environments are really important. It's really part of the success of many businesses is just getting their people to work together in teams towards certain goals and things they want to get done. But it also brings ideas, it helps solve problems, and it really helps create a great working environment if you do teams right in a business. So working in a team takes a mindset. You've got to kind of agree to agree in the end. It can't be this constant fight. You've got to find ways to compromise sometimes. You've got to find ways to get things done and move everything forward. You do that through respect for each other, listening to each other, not being a slacker and just going whatever and not doing anything. And you also don't talk behind each other's backs when you're in teams, right? You recognize that everybody is part of this team and things can get back to them and it doesn't help the team. And we've all heard of stories, or you might have been involved in a team that didn't go well at work or at school. And we want to not have that be the case for you. We want you to have effective teams in this class. You've been automatically assigned to teams, and so you'll have to get to know each other through the internet. But I think we can build some bonds and have you guys do some good work together. So the projects in this class go from this very first one, which is basically you guys agreeing how you're going to work together, all the way through some marketing, some org charts, some operations, some website stuff, and some business budgeting in the end. So first we're going to talk about this team contract, and really the whole idea is this, that everybody has accountability and you have a shared goal to work together and to everybody pull their weight. So the contract has 4 sections, and we'll talk about each one of these really quickly. And I'll give you kind of a, we'll talk and look at the form and things like that. So the first thing is, well, you should have a goal as a team. Now you've got 9 projects there, maybe, and we might sneak another one in there in the class, who knows. So what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to get certain grades? You want to pull certain skills out of this experience? What do you want to get out of this as a team? Because it is really important to be able to work as a team or be part of a team in business. And then what are the expectations as far as how do we act? How do we work together? How do we communicate? Attendance at online meetings, participation in the work and in this planning. How often you communicate? What's the quality of the work? What are the things that you want to make sure everybody's on the same page in your team in the way this is going to go? And then you actually write down some policies and procedures to make sure you meet these goals and expectations. So, how soon do people need to have, the deadlines Wednesday or Sunday, do you make sure everybody's done on Saturday so everything can be reviewed on Sunday? And you're going to set up roles, and there will be a team leader for every project, and you'll rotate that amongst your group so everybody gets some experience in that. So you define the roles. And so you might have a general definition of what kind of roles you'll use, and then for each project you might assign roles. How do you make decisions together? Do you vote? Do you let the team leader have more influence? How does that work? Showing up for online meetings, are everybody required to be there? And how are you going to run the project management side of this? How are you going to communicate? Maybe you use a group chat more than likely. And how do you set the tasks to make sure you know who's doing what and when they're going to get it done? So there's a lot of task management software out there to do that. You can do it in an Excel spreadsheet. You can do it on a Word document or a Google Doc if you really wanted to. So you just got to have a way of doing that. And as far as consequences, well, are you going to set up consequences if people don't pull their weight? Does it get reported in project overviews, which I have you do? Do you have to explain what happened to you to the rest of the group? Do you need to bring it to the instructor's attention? Hopefully you don't. Maybe you handle this internally. But if it does become a problem, you do bring it to your supervisor, right? So that's, in my role as instructor, I'm kind of your supervisor in this case. So I want to make sure that you guys, if you have a group member that isn't pulling their weight, then after you guys try to deal with it, if it's not changing, then I need to know about it. So you have a couple of tools for this assignment. I got some leading questions that help you kind of guide you through the actual contract, and I gave you a contract template. And so those questions are, pretty basic. What kind of goals, what kind of obstacles might you guys encounter, and how do you fix that, right? Understanding those things. What are the meeting norms? What are the work norms, as far as deadlines and who should do what and how does that get doled out and all of these things, right? And who will, what will you do if one or more team members are not doing their share of work? So you can use these as guiding questions. I'm not saying you have to answer absolutely every one of them in your team contract there on the right, but look through these and find those important ones that you can decide what are your goals, your expectations, and your policies and procedures that help you through this, and consequences. What are the consequences of somebody not doing their work? So that gives you a quick overview, and that should get you started. And there's a lot of instructions in the assignment, so take a look at that, and I look forward to seeing what kind of contracts you come up with. All right, see you later.